Hi, and welcome to Gavin's Sonex B. I apologise if I start to look down my nose at you because I'm wearing the wrong glasses at the moment. These are my varifocals, and to actually focus on the camera in front of me, I need to tip my head back like this. I normally wear a pair of reading glasses when I'm doing the videos. But anyway, I'm out in the garage. I've done a little bit of work. As you remember, I was working on the wiring of the tail cone. Well, I have completed that, and I must say it's looking extremely good. I'm happy with it. Let me show you what I've done. So we'll start at the business end here. We've got our 4 connectors, one for the radio, one for the transponder, one for the communication bus for the sensors, and the bottom one is for the electric flaps, and it's all wired in and looking good. I've managed to find a way of wiring it that I'm happy with. So we've got all the cables running across here, and then we've got the main connectors into the radio, and also the main connector into the transponder there. I can't really show you the other bits, but there we go. So I'm happy with that. But whilst I was doing that, I came across a little kind of conundrum, which I didn't really know what to do. And it's the cable that runs to the sensors, which are mounted inside the tail cone for the AHRS and the compass. And basically I ended up with this bit of washing line running back. And that started me thinking. I'll show you what I mean. These are the 2 sensors, and I've clipped the cabling down, run it across, gone through a hole with a grommet, and then what do I do on the way forwards? And initially I was going to clip it to the longer arm, but some while ago I had this thought. Normally when I fly light because I'm a ULM pilot, and weight is always against you. The less you take with you, the more fuel you can put in the aircraft, and the longer trip you can have before having to refuel. Or the heavier passenger you can take with you. I normally fly with 2 headphone bags, which I have 2 headphones, and I also carry the board that I strap to my left leg, which has all the radio frequencies that I need, and French communication things that I need to do, and charts that I'm going to need for various airstrips that I might want to land at. It's got my checklists in it as well, and that straps to my left leg. And then I've got my logbook, the aircraft logbook, and maps. And all these things go into the 2 headphone bags, which have got like pockets on the outside. They're relatively small. I have one here. I'll show you in a minute. And of course, normally when I'm flying the Super Gepard, behind each seat is a little cubby hole that I can just chuck them into. And I thought, well, actually, I'd quite like to have 2 little cubby holes that I can chuck the headphone bags into and keep all the paperwork and spare maps and stuff like that in. And that got me to thinking about the area behind the seats and whether or not I could make something that meant I could actually reach it whilst I was in flight, maybe something easy to get at behind the seat. So the idea I had was to basically fill in this funny shaped area here. So you've got the main cross member that goes across here. I'm going to go a little wide angle now. There we go. And then you've got the area behind your head, which is like a sort of triangle. And between the triangle and the curved outside area is this kind of gap. And I thought, well, maybe if I put something in that bridged the gap between the first cross member back and the triangular section here with a bottom in it, I could have a little pocket. So seeing as I had this wire that I didn't know what to do with, I thought, well, if I did make that pocket, I could clip the wire to the inside of it. So that then started me on a couple of days of experimentation, really. And what I came up with is this. I made this cardboard pattern that looks a bit like this. It's actually up the wrong way. There we go. So this is the horizontal section here, and this is the bit that goes up the triangle, making a pocket, bridging the gap between the sort of triangular opening and the first cross member going backwards. And from that I made this, and this is one of the finished pockets. I put a little bend up on the end of it to stop anything colliding with the back of the headphone sockets and stopping any pencils or anything like that from disappearing down the side of it. On this one, which is the one that goes on the right hand side, I've put some P-clips on there, which I use for tie wrap bases basically, to clip my wire to. And when it's installed, it looks a little bit like this one in here, and so you can see that it's filled in the space and made a pocket that you can put things into. And if I get my trusty bag, a second. This is one of my headphone bags, which carries all my stuff in the back of it. I've got two of them. Half the stuff goes in one, half the stuff goes in the other. My license is in this one, and a chart, and all the landing information for the local airstrips. And if we try and put it basically just drops in there like that, and voila. I don't know whether you can see it, actually it's a bit dark. So I've got my torch. Where's my torch? There we go. And voila, et voila, there is the bag in its little cubby hole. And I'm quite pleased with it. It's just one piece of aluminium sheet. I did put a little stiffener across the top edge. If I was going to do it again, I would have just put a 10mm bend in, 10 millimeters extra, and put a 90-degree bend in it to do the same thing basically. So you could just have it made out of one piece of aluminium. And the good news is it only weighs 160 grams. So it's not going to compromise the weight of the aircraft really. And so I've made two of them, and I'm going to spray them black, I think, just for a bit of contrast, and I'll be fitting them in the next couple of days. That's my finger at the bottom of the screen there. Anyway, so that's what I've wasted the last couple of days doing, is messing about, bending bits of material. I used, just in case anybody's interested, I used the 25 thou, or part of the 25 thou sheet of 6061T6, which is supplied. There's a couple of sheets supplied in the kit for remaking things that you mess up. Also, there's a couple of sheet items that you need to make. The battery box, for instance, is made out of it, and the two covers that go in that section there need to be made from it as well. But I've used only a very small piece, and I'm quite pleased with them. They work really well, and they are simple, very, very simple. And I like simple things because I'm a bit simple myself. Anyway, that's what I've been up to the last few days. Ronnie O'Sullivan is playing snooker tonight, so I'm going to go indoors now and watch some snooker on the TV, because I do like a bit of snooker. I don't know, do you have snooker in the United States? I think it's mainly pool, isn't it? But in the UK and Europe, snooker is more popular spectator sport on TV than pool. In the pubs and bars, pool is more popular than snooker. But anyway, there we go. And of course, you play with different version of pool than we do in the UK as well. I can't remember what the differences are, but we don't have spots and stripes and things like that. Just two colours of balls, and they're not numbered either. But there we go. I digress. So I'm going to go and watch the snooker. I'm pretty pleased with these two things. They're ready to pop rivet in. They're all drilled out, and to copper cleco size. They've been deburred, and I'm just going to spray them black, I think, tomorrow, and then pop them in with some pop rivets. I was thinking of covering them, but no, I think I'll spray them. It's lighter and easier to repair when they get damaged. I'm also starting to have a think about the baggage compartment area, which is going to be the area between those two shelves down into the first compartment behind the seats, basically. I'm talking about this area here between the main cross member at the back of the seat and the first cross member back in the tail cone. At the moment it's fairly open. I know that various people have done various things. What you've got to do is stay away from the elevator control here. Don't want to foul that in any way, and also got to stay away from the rudder cables because we don't want to foul that, and also stay away from the actuator and the control bar for the flaps. So I'm thinking that something needs to be suspended in this area from the underside of this, from the shelf here across this area, and I'm thinking of maybe going and seeing if I can find some kind of plastic tub that I can use because they're light again, some kind of light plastic tub that will fit into that sort of area, and then work out some way of suspending it so that it gives me some storage space, but protects all the things down there. Oh, and also there will be the transponder aerial down there as well, or the connections for the transponder aerial. So we don't want to mess that up either. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. And at some point, probably when I'm in the shower, a brilliant idea will pop out of my brain, and then we'll have a go at making it and see whether it works. So I'll leave it at that, and I shall speak to you again in a few days when I've done something worthy of mentioning. Speak to you later. Bye.